We can turn the process of converting a number to base 10 around and ask 463, if there's no base written, it's understood to be a decimal number or a base 10 number, equals what in base 5? How are we going to answer that question? Well, 463 would have to equal something times, let's say, 5 to the, I'm going to write a little more than we need, 5 to the 5th and something times 5 to the 4th plus something times 5 to the 3rd plus something times 5 to the 2nd plus something times 5 to the 1st plus something times 5 to the 0. And the process is going to be one of figuring out what these somethings ought to be. Okay, well, first it's going to be 5 to the 5th power is 625. 5 to the 4th is 100. Wait a minute. 5 to the 5th is 3,125. And I'm going to cheat here. I don't really want to go that high. I'm just going to white out this 5 to the 5th stuff. I didn't need to go that high on the exponent. I didn't even need to go to 5 to the 4th, as we'll see. Let's just white that out. Maybe it looks a little sloppy, but we'll live with it. Okay, so it's something times 5 to the 4th. 5 to the 4th is 625. Something times 5 to the 3rd. 5 to the 3rd is 125. Something times 5 to the 2nd, which is something times 25. 5 to the 1st is 5. And then something times 1. And again, we have to fill in those blanks. What numbers are we going to use? Well, we don't need 625. We need none of that, because 463 is not as big as 625. 125, how many of those do we need to make up 463? Well, the way this is going to work out, we'd better take all that we can without going over 463. How many 125s can we take without exceeding 463? Well, that would be 3. Because 3 times 125 is 375. At this point, it's probably a good idea to make some notes and keep up with the numbers. So we got 463, and we've accounted now for 3 times 125, or 375 of that 463, which is going to leave us 89. So we've got all but 89 of the 463. To get 89, how many 25s can we use? Well, it turns out that we can use up to 3 25s, so we're going to use all 3. And if we, just to keep track of our numbers, say we've got 89, and now we've taken 75 of those, that's going to leave us 14. Now, if we want to make up 14 in multiples of 5, that's going to require 2 5s, isn't it? So we say that the 14 minus 2 5s, which is 10, leaves us 4. So now we'd better take 4 1s. The resulting number is 3324. So we can write our result. Didn't leave myself quite enough room, so I'll write it up here. 463 decimal is 3324 base 5. Let's illustrate the process once more, and I think I did leave myself enough room here. 2146 is what to the base 8? First of all, let's write the powers of 8. 8 to the 0 is 1. 8 to the 1 is 8. 8 to the second is 64. 8 to the third is 512. And 8 to the fourth is 4,096. So if we're trying to make up the number 2,146, the highest power of 8 that we're going to use is 512. Now how many 512s can we use if we want 2,146? Well, it turns out that we can use 4 of them. So we're going to say that 4 times 8 to the third is 4 times 512, which is 2,048. So we're going to use 4 of these. Now we've got 2,048 at this point. How many more do we need to make up the 2,146? Well, we need 2,146 minus 2,048 is 96. So we're left with 96 more to get the number that we're aiming for. So let's see. How many 64s can we use if we want to make up 96? It's not 96, it's 98. I was reading the 6 from there. If we want to make up 98, how many 64s do we use? Well, we can only use 1. And we're trying to get 98. If we get 64, that leaves 98 minus 64 is 34. Okay, if we want 34, then how many 8s can we use? Okay, we need 34. We can use 4 8s. Now leaving, of the 34 we needed, that leaves us 2. And then we're going to use 2 times, wrote 10, didn't I? Right, 2 times 8 to the 0. Which of course is the 2 that we need. So we used 4 times 8 to the third, 1 times 8 squared, 4 times 8, and 2 times 8 to the 0. And of course that 8 would be 8 to the 1. So we used 4 of the third power, 1 of the second, 4 of the first, and 2 of the 0th power. So we can state that 2146 is 4 times 8 to the third plus 1 times 8 squared plus 4 times 8 to the first plus 2 times 8 to the 0, which would be written 4, 1, 4, 2 base 8.